are requested to mute your audio and video. Wildlife surprises you when you least expect it. Muhammad Ibrahim. With this notion, I greet a very good afternoon to one and all present here, and I wholeheartedly welcome you all to the Wildlife Week celebration held from 2nd to 9th October by the Department of Zoology of Konganada Arts and Science College, Coimbatore.
Prayer should always be our first response to every situation. So I pray the Lord to shower His blessings throughout the entire session. Now I call upon Ms. S. Vishnupriya from 3rd BSc Zoology to sing the prayer song.
அறிவிலே தெளிவு நெஞ்சிலே உறுதி அகத்திலே அன்பினோர் வெள்ளம் பொறிகளின் மீது தனியரசானே பொழுதெல்லாம் நினது பேரருளில் விரேலி நாட்டம் கருமயோகத்தில் நிலைத்திடல் என்றுவை அருளா குறிகுணமே இளநாயனைத்தாய் குலவிட தனி பரம் பொருளே பரம் பொருளே.
Thank you, Vishnupriya, for the blissful beginning. I gladly welcome you all to this program. Now, I kindly call upon our respected head in charge of the Department of Zoology, Dr. S. Binukumari ma'am, to deliver the welcome address to the gathering. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Pa. It's audible? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to one and all. Join with us for the Wildlife Week celebration, Jungly 2021, organized by Department of Zoology, Konganada Arts and Science College, Coimbatore from 4th October to 9th October. It gives me great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed Honorable Secretary and Director, Dr. C.A. Vasiki Madam, distinguished Principal Dr. M. Lakshmanasamy Sir, most valued, respected our Emeritus Professor Dr. Murugan Sir, respected Dean Research and Development Dr. Palasamy Sir, Dean Academics Dr. Madan Shankar Sir. And also I wish to welcome the faculty members, research scholars and the students of Konganada Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. I also take this opportunity to welcome and thank our organizing team for organizing this program. So wildlife is a precious gift of God to this planet. Wildlife plays a major important role in balancing the environment. It also provides a stability to different kind of natural process of nature. So the theme of this program to promote the preservation of fauna, which is animal life. Throughout the week, many events such as drawing and painting, essay writing, mobile photography, quiz competition are conducted to raise awareness among the students. Hope this program helped to understand the complex aspects of wildlife conservation. I once again, on behalf of the Konganada Arts and Science College and on my own, I welcome you all to the Wildlife Week celebration, Jungly 2021. I wish everyone to have a great time with us today and forthcoming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm and wonderful welcoming.
Hello.
A leader is the one who's the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Now, I kindly call upon our beloved principal and chairperson, Dr. M. Lakshmanasamy Sir, to pitch the inaugural address. Please, sir.
Am I audible, Binukumari madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Binukumari madam.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, all of you. Most respected Secretary and Syndicate Member of Bharatiya University, Dr. C. Vasiki madam. Dr. K. Murugan sir, former Vice Chancellor of Bharatiya Thiruvallur University and former Registrar of Bharatiya University. Emeritus Professor, Department of Zoology, Kongunad Science Science College. Dean Academics, Dr. S. N. Madan Shankar sir. Dean R&D, Dr. S. Balasamy sir. HOD in charge, Dr. S. Binukumari madam. Organizing secretaries, Dr. R. Venkatachalam sir and Dr. Swaminathan sir. Organizing committee, Department of Zoology. Faculty members, research scholars, PG and UG students and other participants. On behalf of the management, welcome you all for the Wildlife Week celebration from 22nd October to 9th October. Already our HOD in charge, Binukumari madam, explained about the various competitions. Then tomorrow evening, drawing and painting competition. On this, then essay writing competition, mobile photography, quiz competition. Then 9th Valkyrie and prize distribution. I really appreciate the organizers and Department of Zoology for your enthusiasm and the first webinar. Today we are college is reopening for all the first year UG and PG. Once again, on behalf of the management, thank you for the opportunity given to me. Coming to the subject, see, come as a biodiversity point of view and wildlife management. What is the people's movement for biodiversity and wildlife conservation? People throughout the world are feeling uneasy about modern development schemes, which have resulted in the substantial loss of biodiversity, thereby denying them a just, equitable, and sustainable resource base. The expression of such and livelihood depends. Although there are several such recent movements, the most important are Chipko movements. So what's in the Chipko movement? Chipko means to hug or to embrace in an affection. The Chipko movement is a success story of environmental conservation, and credit it goes to the women of Reni village of the Alaknanda catchment area in Uttarakhand. அதாவது மரங்களை வெட்ட போகும்போது அந்த ஏரியா இருக்கிற பெண்கள் எல்லாம் ஓடி போய் மரத்தை கட்டி பிடிச்சிட்டாங்க. நீ மரத்தை வெட்டுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்னை வெட்டிட்டு தான் நீ மரத்தை வெட்டணும். அந்த அளவுக்கு அந்த மக்கள் அந்த ட்ரைபல் வில்லேஜில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பீப்புள்ஸ் பாத்தீங்கன்னா வனங்கள் மேலையும் ஃபாரஸ்ட் மேலையும் அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு ஆர்வமா இருந்திருக்கிறாங்க. மரம் 100 வருஷம் 5 ஆண்டு 100 வருஷம் 200 வருஷம் இறந்த மரத்தை நீங்க வெட்டக்கூடாது, ரோடு போடக்கூடாது, டேம் கட்டக்கூடாது. அந்த மாதிரி அதான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா that movement is called as Chipko movement. மரத்தை கட்டி பிடிச்சுக்கிறது. வெட்டுறதுக்கு மரத்தை ஓடி போய் கட்டி பிடிச்சுக்குவாங்க. முதல்ல என்ன வெட்டி போட்டு நீ மரத்தை வெட்டு. So அதுதான் that concept of the Chipko movement. In the Reni village of the Alaknanda catchment area in Uttarakhand region, Himalayas of India, who sought to protect the local forest called Mica. And the local forest அந்த மக்கள் ஒரு பேர் வச்சிருக்காங்க, Mica, that is mother's house, தாயுடைய இருப்பிடம். என்ன சொல்றாங்க அந்த மக்கள், இது ஒரு தாயுடைய இருப்பிடம். அதுக்கு பேர் பாத்தீங்கன்னா மைக்கான்னு சொல்றாங்க. It was prompted by an order issued in 1960 by the government of India, took place in the Himalayan foothills on large scale. அந்த இமயமலை அடிவாரத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மரங்களை ஃபுல்லா கட் பண்ண சொல்லிக்கிறாங்க கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் இந்தியா. அதனால என்ன நடந்ததுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, this led to severe floods in 1970. பெரிய வெள்ளப்பெருக்கம் வந்திருக்குது. which swept away 6 bridges. Bridge வந்து அடிச்சுட்டு போயிருக்குது. 16 foot bridges, நடைபாதையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய bridge and over 600 houses in addition to crops over hundreds of hectares. So அந்த இமாலயன் ஃபுட்ஹில்ஸ் இருக்கக்கூடிய மரங்களை வெட்டதுனால நிறைய பாலங்கள் எல்லாம் சேதமாயிருச்சு, நடைபாதைகள் எல்லாம் டெஸ்ட்ராய் ஆயிருச்சு. எத்தனையோ 600 ஹெக்டேர் லேண்ட் வந்து பார்த்தா அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் ஃபீல்ட் எல்லாம் வந்து தண்ணீர் மூழ்கி போச்சுங்கிறது வந்து ரிப்போர்ட் வந்து சொல்றாங்க. Affecting no less than 100 villages in the area. The Chipko Andolan, that Chipko, இது பேர் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா Chipko Revolution, ஒரு புரட்சி. Chipko Revolution was born when women of the village sought to save the forest in the extremely sensitive region of the Alaknanda catchment by marching to them, shouting slogans and hugging the trees. ஸ்லோகங்கள் எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு அரசாங்கத்துக்கு எதிர்க்க ஸ்லோகங்கள் ஓடி போய் ஒருத்தர் வந்து மரத்தை வந்து கட்டி பிடிச்சிட்டாங்கிறது ரிப்போர்ட் சொல்லுது. When contractors were ready to cut them down, கான்ட்ராக்டர் வந்து மரத்தை வெட்ட வந்தா ஓடி போய் மரத்தை கட்டி பிடிச்சுக்கிறாங்க. As this pressure, the ஸ்கீம் வந்து வித்ட்ரா பண்ணிட்டாங்க கவர்மெண்ட் சொல்றாங்க. இது யாரு? ட்ரைபல்ஸ் வந்து பண்றாங்க. ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு டாக்டர், ஒரு பிஹெச்டி படிச்சவங்களோ ஒரு எம்எஸ்சி படிச்சவங்களோ பண்ண கிடையாது. ஜஸ்ட் இல்லிட்ரேட் பீப்புள். அப்ப எந்த விருப்பம் இருக்குங்கிறத வந்து நம்ம பார்க்கணும். அதே போல இன்னொன்னு வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த இதுல அதாவது ரிக்கோ ரிவர் டேம் அண்ட் ட்ரைபல் கேம்ப். The Cordillera Highlands of the northern Philippines witnessed a successful struggle for self-determination by the tribals of the area who traditionally tapped the forest for their livelihood. அந்த காட்டுல என்ன காட்டுவாசிகள் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா காட்டுல இருக்கக்கூடிய பழங்கள், அந்த மைனர் ஃபாரஸ்ட் பொடி சொல்லுவீங்க, தேனு, கிழங்கு வகைகள், இதெல்லாம் தான் அவங்களுடைய உணவு. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா தி கவர்மெண்ட் பிளான் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஆஃப் 4 டேம்ஸ் அலாங் தி ரிக்கோ ரிவர் டேம். அரசாங்கம் வந்து 4 டேம் கட்டுறதுக்கு முடிவெடுத்திருக்கிறாங்க. அந்த சிக்கோ ரிவர் டேம், 2 each in the Kalinga, Apayo and the mountain province. The Bangkok and Kalinga tribals resisted this step as the project would displace an estimate of 1 lakh persons and submerge 200 hectares under rice cultivation. அங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1 லட்சம் பேர் வந்து அந்த விவசாயம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க ட்ரைபல்ஸ். மெயினா வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அது வந்து அவங்களுக்கு அந்த நெல் வயல் வந்து 2000 ஹெக்டர் வந்து பாடா போகுதுன்னு சொல்லி போட்டு ரைஸ் கல்டிவேஷன் அண்ட் 2500 hectares under coffee and food plantation. After great struggle by the tribals and the Cordillera People's Bedong Alliance (CPA), comprising 130 organization, the Rico River Dam project was stopped. So இது ஒரு 2 திட்டம். ஒன்னு வந்து சிப்கோ மூவ்மெண்ட், மக்களுடைய இயக்கம், இன்னொன்று வந்து ரிக்கோ டேம் அண்ட் ட்ரைபல் கேம்பெயின். ஸோ இப்படி வந்து என்ன போச்சு, மக்களுடைய இயக்கம் ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருந்ததுனால வந்து அந்த டேம் கட்டுறதையும் டேம் கட் பண்றது கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றதையும் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ இப்படி இருக்கும்போது வாட்ஸ் அவர் ரோல்? ஸோ வாட் ஆர் தி மேஜர் ரோல் பிளேயிங் ஃபார் தி ஸ்கூல்ஸ் அண்ட் காலேஜஸ் அண்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்? ஸோ நாம வந்து எப்படி வந்து இந்த வன உயிரிகளை பாதுகாக்கிறது, வைல்ட் லைஃப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் எப்படி பண்ணுங்கிறது தான். இது ஏதோ வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு செமினார், ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸ், ஒரு காம்படிஷன் வச்சு ஒரு ரெக்கார்ட் கிரியேட் பண்றது இல்லாம வந்து ரவுண்ட் த கிளாக் தி யங் ஜெனரேஷன் ப்ளீஸ் யூ கேன் திங்க். இப்ப உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், இந்த கொரோனா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் ஆக்சிஜன் கிடைக்காம, ஆக்சிஜன் சிலிண்டர் கிடைக்காம எத்தனை உயிர்கள் போயிருக்குது, எத்தனை லட்சாதிபதிகள், எத்தனை மல்டி மில்லியனர், எல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. பணம் வந்து யாரையும் வந்து காப்பாற்றவே கிடையாது. ஒருத்தர் ஃபாரின்ல வந்து சொல்லியிருக்க எத்தனையோ சொத்துக்கள் எல்லாம் போட்டு பணத்தை போல எல்லாம் இறந்துக்கு அப்புறம் பணத்தை போய் தீயர் போட்டு எரிச்சிருக்கிறார். ஏன்னா உற்றார்களையும் இறந்தேன், உறவினர்கள் இழந்தேன், இந்த லட்சக்கணக்கான பணங்கள், கோடிக்கணக்கான பணம் இருந்து நான் என்ன பண்ண சொல்லி போட்டு பணத்தை தீயில் போட்டு எரிச்சிருக்கிறார். அதனால ஒரு மனிதர்கள் வந்து நீங்க வந்து திங்க் பண்ண வேண்டியது என்னன்னா, கொரோனா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் அந்த ஆக்சிஜனுடைய வேல்யூ என்ன, ஆக்சிஜனுடைய டிமாண்ட் என்ன, ஆக்சிஜன் சிலிண்டர் கிடைக்காம எத்தனை பேர் வந்து உயிர் போயிருக்கிறாங்க. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம என்ன சேஃப், டபுள் இன்ஜெக்ஷன் போட்டு டோஸ் போட்டுட்டோம், நம்ம சேஃப். ஆனா ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 6 மாசங்களுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த நோயினால மக்கள் பட்ட அவதி காரணம் வந்து என்னன்னா, மரங்கள் வந்து வேணும், காடுகள் வந்து வேணும். And with this introduction, I don't want to take much of your time. There are 2 more speakers are waiting. Once again, on behalf of the management, welcome you all for this excellent program. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating speech.
Now, I kindly call upon our Dean Research and Development, Dr. S. Palsamy sir, to pitch the felicitation speech.
Most revered Secretary Madam of our college, respected Principal, beloved Dean Academic Dr. Madan Sankar, Head of the Department in charge Dr. Binukumari Madam, the organizing secretaries Dr. Venkadachalam and Dr. Swaminathan, and other faculty members, dear participants, good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I am very happy to offer felicitation in this very excellent program arranged by the Zoology Department in order to mark the World Wildlife Week. So, since 1972, every year during October 2nd to 8th, the World Wildlife Week is being celebrated. So, natural lovers, ecologists, environmentalists, and even now common public, they are also interested to celebrate the World Wildlife Week because the importance of wildlife that has been recognized very recently for the past few decades only by all people, all sectors of people in the world. So wildlife means it is not only the animals. So anything growing not under the care of man, any living organism growing not under the care of man is categorized as wilds. So wild plants, wild animals, they are there. So these should be because these kinds of organisms they are playing major role in maintaining the ecological process and also to maintain the ecological stability, ecosystem stability all over the world. So ecosystem stability is directly related to productivity and services of the ecosystem. So stability of the system that is most essential that can be maintained only by maintaining and managing all the living systems of the world. Living systems, particularly the wild organisms. The other domestic organisms, they are under the care of man. All the required things are provided by man for their sophisticated life. Wild organisms only they are getting material from nature. So we must care about these organisms to maintain the ecological process, like the very proper and regulated hydrological cycle, food chain, food web, the circulation of the chemical substances between biotic and abiotic components. So if these processes are going on in a stabilized and well condition, the services will also be very good and we can get adequate materials from nature. Suppose if it is overexploited by man and other agencies, definitely that will cause lot of problems. So what we have seen for the past 2 years, the pandemic that is caused by the novel coronavirus, it is a many theories are there about the origin of the novel coronavirus, but one section of people they are arguing it is natural due to climate change and global warming. This is happened. The new set of the variants have been formed from the coronavirus, that is SARS-CoV-2. So the problem and the consequences of the SARS-CoV-2, we might have known about these things. So in order to control all those things, the wild organisms, wildlife that must be protected. So the theme of the Wildlife Week this year, the forests and the livelihood, the sustaining people and planet, that is the focal theme of the Wildlife Week this year 21-22. So they told about the forest because the forests are the shelters of all kinds of plants and animals at different parts of the world. So India, a lucky country, we are having all types of forest in India, almost 16 major types and 221 subtypes of forests are available to India. Almost what kind of forest you can see in other areas of the world, they are available in India also. Alpine forest, this is also a very rare forest in the northern temperate region. Beyond the northern temperate region, around 70 degrees latitude, these kinds of alpine forest is available. That is also situated in India, above 5,000 meters in Himalayas. Similarly, the tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, and the temperate forest grasslands deserts, so many types of vegetations. They are available in India. As a result, we are getting more biodiversity. You know, India is the country with the 2.4% of the geographical area. So the contribution of Indian geographical area is 2.4% to the globe. So within this small area, we can have nearly 7 to 8% of the total biodiversity. India is the seventh largest country in the world and second largest in Asia, contributing much more biodiversity to global account. Apart from biodiversity, other natural physical resources are also very rich in India. The water, the available water is very rich. It is more than enough. We can give water more than 140 crores of people. No one country have very sufficient water, but the problem is the poor management system. Water management system in India is not up to the mark when compared to the Western countries. So these are all the problems. Resources are available enormously. The thing is, management practices followed in India and the techniques followed in India is not appreciated level, not at the appreciated level. And then the India, you see, we can have nearly 48,000 of plant species, all kinds of plants like the phanerophytes, flowering plants, non-flowering plants of different categories. They are in total around 48,000 of organisms, species are available. Animal side, we are very rich, 91,000 of species of different categories of animals. Animals like the birds, small invertebrates, and vertebrates of different types. 91,000 species of animals are available in India. So many of them, you see, India has large repository of organisms of different kinds. So the reason is we are having heterogeneous in climatic condition. Our climate is not uniform throughout India. We can see our Indian subcontinent is the place where three major bioclimatic regions are merging: the Afrotropical, the Eurasian climate, and then the Indo-Malayan climate. These three major bioclimatic conditions are merging at Indian subcontinent, so we can have different ecosystems. Our land frontier is nearly 15,000 kilometer. This lengthy land frontier we are having 7,500 kilometer lengthy long coastal regions we are having. So different kinds of ecosystem. The Gangetic Plain, we are having Gangetic Plain, Himalayas, the Deccan Plateau, the Malabar, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, like that. The biogeographical regions of India is also more than 10. Because of the variation, not only the resource point of view, India is varied. The culture, tradition, language, everything is different in India. That is the unique property of India, unique character of the Indian nation. So this last vast number of organisms that must be protected. You see, the India is having a network of more than 981 protected areas. So for protection purpose, which include the 104, the national parks, 566 wildlife sanctuaries, and 97 conservation reserves, and 2,214 the community reserves. So these are all the protected areas mainly meant for biodiversity conservation, particularly for wild organisms. We are having different programs in India to maintain and to protect all those things. So Indian, another thing, hotspots hypothesis, hotspots concept. Actually, hotspots are the places where the biodiversity is rich with high degree of endemism. In 2005, one article has been published in Nature, that is by Wilson and Pochigam. They recommended 34 hotspots throughout the world. So by approving the thing entirely by the UNESCO IUCN, and they declared 34 hotspots worldwide, mainly for the protection and conservation of the natural organisms available in different habitats. India, luckily, because India, you know, one among the 18 mega diversity nations, we are having 4 hotspots out of 34 available in the world. The one that is total Western Ghats, the Himalaya, the Indo-India Burma region, and then the Sunda land of the Nicobar Islands. So these are all the 4 major areas, hotspots in India, having enormous number of plants and animals with a high degree of endemism. They cannot available in other parts of the world. They are the properties of India. So endemism, that is most essential. Any country with high degree of endemism, that is the property point of view, that is the nation with good wealth. Because endemic organisms, they cannot grow in other parts of the world. Only in region specific they are. They can have narrow ecological amplitude, and so they are growing in particular area only. So because of this endemism, high degree of endemism only, the Western invasion, the English invasion in 1700, and then before that the Mughal invasion in 1500, before that the invasions like the Mongolian invasion. So these invasions to India made only for biodiversity. Biodiversity means the endemic organisms, because that kind of organisms never grow in other parts of the world, like our cotton, our the and then the oil plants, oil seeds. So in total Europe, only one oil plant, olive oil. But you see in India, we are having variety of oil plants. So crop plants point of view, also India is very rich. More than 160 crop plants are available. But you go to the European Union, only 4 or 5 crop plants: rye, oats, barley. These are all the main crops there. But in India, we can have more than 160 crop plants are available. Apart from that, another important and most interesting feature is we have more wild relatives of crop plants. Wild relatives means they are similar to the crop plants, very close to very crop plants belonging to same genera or same family. But due to some abandoned material or some toxic materials available in such wild plants, they are not consumed very directly. So the technological implementation is necessary to convert all these biomass of the wild relatives of crop plants for our usage. Other thing, they are having very wonderful genetic constitution. One example I have to quote how that wild plants are wild relatives. They are helping to our crop plants. In 1950s, one disease for rice, that is called grassy stunt virus disease. This grassy stunt virus is most dangerous. Almost all the rice growing, paddy growing countries at the time worried about the disease. India, Bangladesh, China, and then the countries like the Philippines, the Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, all these countries, they are the major rice growing countries in the world. They worried about the disease. Then one Chinese man, many people, the Indian scientist also tried to tap genes from the wild rice to control the virus. But nobody has succeeded at the time. One Chinese man came to India and he attempted many wild rice varieties for incorporation of the genes. So he also failed many attempts. At one stage, he visited Madhya Pradesh. In the understories of the Madhya Pradesh deciduous forest, one rice plant that is called Oryza nivera, that plant was found. So simply they breed. Then in China, he breed the plant of our rice Oryza sativa. Finally, he succeeded. The genes available in the Oryza nivera are very successful in resisting the grassy stunt virus. So new hybrid variety has been produced at the time. The total rice growing countries are relieved from that pressure. And then thought that crop rice has been protected by this very excellent, invaluable gene available in the wild rice. So similarly, many pulses, the tribal pulses, wild pulses, when you go to animal hills in the top, we can see many pulses, wild pulses or tribal pulses. There are one plant that is Smithia bijamica is available there. It is having very complex protein. So this kind of pulses, when it is consumed, definitely that will be a most important food for the diabetic patient, because of this complex protein and carbohydrate available in this pulse. It is digested very slowly, so it cannot give any problem of diabetics. Diabetic patients also can get relief from this disease by using such type of the pulses. Another thing, these pulses, due to some toxic material, it cannot be used directly. So now only the people like biotechnologists, biologists, they have to develop technologies how we can make use of the large biomass available in the upper hills of Animalais and Nilgiris for our own benefit. So the technological invention is needed in this juncture. And another important area, the endemism point of view, I told it is very particular to India only. We are having 18,783 plant species are available. Higher plants are available in India. Out of this account, 4,381 plant species are highly endemic to India. So they cannot be grown in other parts of the world. The climate and soil types are not at all cooperate with the growth of the plants. That's why they are growing only in India. So this endemism is the great property. It is the property of India. Manpower, we are having a lot of manpower. The resources very particular to India is also very large. Only thing, proper technology must be developed to utilize all those things for the benefit of the mankind. And another important area we have to say, the conservation methods. So all the wildlife, not only plants, when you go to even our nearby areas like the Nilgiri Biosphere, because the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, this is first declared the protected area in India in 1986. So there we can have the landscape is entirely different. We are having different ecosystems which are repeatedly arranged, like our wetlands and the grasslands, the forests of different types like solas, evergreen forest, deciduous forest, many kinds of vegetations, and then the ecosystems, they are repeatedly arranged that are interacting. The interaction is very faster between themselves. As a result, the services of the landscape of Nilgiri Biosphere is very exclusive, that can give more water. The eastern prosperity, agricultural prosperity in the eastern part of our India, like the delta regions of Tamil Nadu, the Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh, up to Orissa, this is the bowl of paddy field. So this area is supported by the perennial rivers coming from the Western Ghats, particularly the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve region. So these services that can be made by the landscape very effectively for the benefit of the mankind. So the total living system, including various kinds of the living organisms in the Western Ghats, must be protected. That will be giving more important services to all living systems of the world. And the conservation point of view, normally we can have two methods, in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation, the organisms and the rare and endangered elements, they can be preserved or managed in their own habitat. So the total habitat is declared as protected, and the organism in total inside that area can be protected. That is in situ conservation. Our sanctuaries, the national parks, they are some examples. Biosphere reserves, they are the examples of the in situ conservation, all you might have known. And the ex situ conservation, some of the most endangered organisms, they have been taken out and they are maintained in the special places by providing all facilities artificially. So we are growing that kind of organisms artificially in the artificial habitat by providing all necessary things. So the arboreum and then the zoological parks, there are some examples how we are maintaining the organisms outside the natural system. And then the third thing, the social forestry and agroforestry. Principal told about the social forestry, that means the movement. The practicing of social forestry, the agroforestry, is much helpful to relieve So while then you see in the Western Ghats, the Sambar, Nilgiri, and so many other, the lion-tailed macaque, these are all some of the endemic animals very commonly available in the southern Western Ghats. They must be protected. So this third important area for conservation of the organisms is the that is the protection, other that means the social forestry. When you relieve pressure upon the natural forest, naturally the organisms will also be protected well. So if you develop the social forestry in public places or government owned wastelands in the rural areas, the people can get all the services. They can get fuel, they can get the water, they can get the medicinal plants, everything from their local area, and they won't disturb the forest areas and against the wild organisms available there. And another important thing is the fourth aspect of the conservation, the introduction of the organism. Suppose any organism which are very rare in nature, like our Lichia travancorica, one plant available there. Very only one tree species we have noted in 2005. For our MPhil work, we have gone there to survey some of the solar forest. Many solar we visited at the time. In one private solar, we have cited one plant that is Lichia travancorica, a LRSE member, most important medicinal plant also. It is a medium-sized tree, but this is only one in number. No other individual is available in solar or any other solar there. Immediately, we informed the thing to the local forest, and the forest department asked us to develop some propagation technology. So, by getting UCG program, UGC project, we have done that work, propagation, development of the propagation technology for Lichia travancorica. After 2 years, we succeeded both for seed propagation and vegetative propagation and tissue culture. In all the way, we succeeded, and we handed over the protocol to the forest department. Forest department cultured the plant by using this protocol. After 2005, after a gap of 10 years, in 2015 we visited there again for some other purpose. We have seen more than 100 trees of 100 individuals of Lichia. They are growing in that solar forest and nearby solas. We are very happy that one germ blossom that has been protected entirely, because that plant is not at all available in any part of Tamil Nadu, any part of India except Trivandrum. There in 1919, 1919, one person bold reported that plant there. Afterwards, it has not been reported anywhere else. But after submitting protocol, they developed that one, and then now the plant is very successful. Likewise, the government of India is having various projects like the tiger project, project elephant, crocodile project. So many projects are there. The main aim of the projects are to conserve the organisms. So the management strategies for the reproductive technologies, they have been developed, and the population size of these kinds of animals, they have been improved and increased. Now almost the tiger. So the T23 tiger for the past 1 week making in the Nilgiri and some parts of Kerala areas of Western Ghats. So many environmentalists and natural lovers asking the forest department not to kill the tiger. So forest department also told the importance of one tiger is most important to maintain the natural balance and also the food chain. That's why they promised they won't be killing that tiger. So tiger project that is successful in India, elephant project, no need to say the population of the elephant nowadays. So almost all project, crocodile project, that is also rhino project, all they are success in India, and we are getting enough number of the population size of all these plants and animals. Not only these things, the coral, some 1 week back, one article has been published in Nature Communication. They have told about the coral microbiome. Coral microbiome most essential to maintain the natural balance in the aquatic ecosystem, particularly in marine region. In that paper, they have quoted the bacteria, fungi, various other microorganisms. They have formed a microbiome in that coral reef by which they are resisting the global warming. So the bleaching of the chlorophyll pigment that has been completely arrested by the microbiome formed there. Once the bleaching is arrested, means the symbiotic association that will be well established, that will give very good services to other organisms like fish and other amphibians there. So these kinds of the microbes, so that means the coral reefs, the aquatic system, that also be protected. They are having great services over people and other organisms in the world. So in this action, the Wildlife Week that has been celebrated, being celebrated by the Zoology department well by organizing different kinds of programs like a quiz program, drawing competition, painting competition, and then the essay writing, like the different programs they plan. So definitely the students, they can have more idea how to conserve the wildlife. So we are using text, and by field survey, we are having some idea. The people, like the students, they can have more novel idea about the conservation of the wildlife. Definitely the idea will be more useful. I request to the organizers after completing the program, the important points given by the student participant that must be forwarded to higher authorities for implementation. So this program, definitely I will hope this will be a successful program. So we have to make awareness among the students and also the other faculty members, research scholars, about the wildlife, importance of wildlife. They are not the individuals, they are the important area in regulating all kinds of ecological process. So ecological process, maintaining the ecological process is the only solution for all kinds of the climate change, global warming, and other polluted atmosphere, everything. Only solution is the increasing of the green cover. Increasing of green cover means that will include also increasing of the wild animals, the protection of the wild animals. That is the essential thing. So I congratulate the team for arranging this type of program for the benefit of the students. Hope the program will be a grand success. I thank the organizers for having given me the opportunity to felicitate them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech.
Thank you.
Now, I kindly request Emeritus Professor and former Vice Chancellor of Tiruvallur University, Vellore, and former Register in charge of Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, Dr. K. Murugan sir, to deliver the keynote address to the gathering. Please, sir.
Madam Setachi. Madam success madam, thank you madam.
சார் ஓகே
ரொம்ப
சார்.
நன்றி மேடம், ரொம்ப நன்றி. இந்த ஒரு வெபினாருக்கு வந்துட்டேன், நான் உங்களை வந்து பர்சனலா பார்த்து சொல்றேன். எஸ் மேடம், எஸ், தேங்க்யூ மேடம், தேங்க்யூ. ஹலோ, இதை கிளிக் பண்ணணும். My voice is audible?
எஸ் சார், எஸ் சார்.
Okay. My photo is not being seen. My photo. Okay, I can talk.
ஓகே சார்.
Okay, thank you. You know. தானே கிளிக் பண்ணணும், ஒரு கிளிக்கா டபுளா இது போடட்டா, my slide is visible. Excuse me.
Yes sir, yes sir.
My slide is visible, ma'am.
Visible sir.
Yes ma'am, thank you. First of all, I wish to thank our honorable and respected President, Professor Dr. C.A. Vasugi ma'am. Is a secretary as well as director of Kongunadu Arts and Science College, as well as honorable syndicate member of Bharatiya University. And I welcome Dr. S. Binukumari, head of the department, in charge of Zoology Department, Kongunadu Arts and Science College, and the most esteemed Dr. M. Laxmanaswamy, principal, head of the department of Zoology, Kongunadu Arts and Science College. And also the felicitation going to give Professor Dr. S. Madan Shankar, Dean of Dean and Dr. Dean of Academics of Kongu Nadu Arts and Science College, and Dr. Paul Swami, Dean Research and Development, who has given elaborate lecture on both plant and animal wildlife and their importance and various hotspots of India. I thank Dr. Paul Swami sir for giving valuable information, and Dr. V. Venkachalam is going to deliver a word of thanks, and all professors from the Department of Zoology, the students from first MSc and second MSc, research scholars, and all other non-teaching staffs and other staff members and I am much happy to participate in the Wildlife Week celebrations being celebrated by our college, Kongu Nadu Arts and Science College, and I am very happy. And in this occasion, I wish to share some of my experience on the butterfly that is our host plant and butterfly diversity in Western Ghats and biodiversity conservation of butterflies. And I am going to share my slide. Butterflies are a very good pollinator. This is a Sirwani, Western Ghats. It is the hottest hotspot of biodiversity of butterflies. And also Sirwani Hills, Western Ghats is one of the very fine ecosystem, both butterflies and host plants. And also we have waterfalls, Sirwani waterfalls, and it is the water is coming from Kerala and being served to Coimbatore, and all people from Coimbatore are enjoying this water. This is world's second most sweetest water. The first sweetest water we are getting from Scotland, UK, but fortunately we are having another good water ecosystem, and good drinking water is from Sirwani. There also you have a lot of butterflies, a lot of host plants of butterflies, dietary food plants of butterflies are there in Sirwani Hills. And the Anamudi peak from this hills also is a very tallest peak in this area. And if apart from butterflies, the Western Ghats, particularly southern Western Ghats, are more other biodiversity also, elephant, and then butterflies, and even moths. The moths are also a very good pollinator, and the butterflies are taking nectar from the Mardamalai hills of Western Ghats, and wild boar, the also very important in this region. And some of the தமிழ் வெர்ஷன் சிறுவாணி காடுகளில் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் பெருக்கமானது அதிகமாக காணப்படுகிறது. அதனால் இக்காடு 2015 பயோடைவர்சிட்டி ஹாட்ஸ்பாட் என்று அறிவிக்கப்பட்டது. ஆகையால் இந்த காடுகள் மிகவும் முக்கியமானது. தமிழ்நாடு அரசு 2015 ஆண்டில் இந்த பயோடைவர்சிட்டி ஹாட்ஸ்பாட் என்று அறிவிக்கப்பட்டது. One of the if you want to see the butterfly life history, and you have adult laying eggs on the tender leaves of the host plant, and you have different larval stages, and then again pupa. This is a life history, consists of adult, larva, egg, larva, and pupa. And then I'm also telling you some of the smaller the Tamil version also. வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் மலர்களில் உள்ள தேனை உண்டு வாழ்கிறது. வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் அயல் மகரந்த சேர்க்கைக்கு பயன்படுவது மட்டுமில்லாமல் சுற்றுச்சூழலை சீர்நிலைப்படுத்துகிறது. மகரந்த சேர்க்கைக்கு நிறைய தாவரங்கள் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளையே நம்பி இருக்க வேண்டிய நிலையும் உண்டாகிறது. வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளை பாதுகாப்பது இயற்கையை பாதுகாப்பதற்கு சமமாகும். ஏனென்றால் தேனீக்களோ பறவைகளோ வௌவால்களோ தாவரங்களில் அயல் மகரந்த சேர்க்கையை ஏற்படுத்த முடியாது. ஏனெனில் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் நீண்ட உணவு குழல் மூலமாக மட்டும் மலர்களில் அயல் மகரந்த சேர்க்கையை செய்ய முடியும். வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் வாழ்க்கை சுழற்சியை எடுத்துக்கொண்டால் முதலில் முட்டை பருவம், புழு பருவம், கூட்டுப்புழு பருவம், அடுத்து நன்கு வளர்ந்த வண்ணத்து பூச்சி, அதாவது ஆண் பெண் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள். வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் தாவரங்களில் மலர்களிலும் துளிர் இலைகளிலும் முட்டைகளை இடுகின்றன. வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் புழுக்கள் பல தாவரங்களின் இலையை உண்டு வாழ்கிறது. கூட்டு பருவம் அடைந்து ரெக்கைகளை உடைய வண்ணத்து பூச்சி வெளிவருகின்றன. நன்கு வளர்ந்த ஆண் பெண் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் பல மலர்களின் தேனை உண்டு வாழ்கிறது. எனவே வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் உண்டு வாழும் தாவரங்களை பாதுகாப்பதும் பராமரிப்பதும் முக்கியமானது. மகரந்த சேர்க்கையில் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் பங்கு. நமது இந்திய நாட்டில் மலை வளமும் நீர்வளமும் நிலவளமும் அதிகமாக உள்ளதால் காடுகளும் விலங்குகளும் அதிகம் உள்ளன. பசுமை நிறைந்த பகுதிகளில் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் அதிகமாக வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றன. குளிர் மற்றும் பனி காலங்களில் வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் இடப்பெயர்ச்சி அடைந்து தங்களின் இனத்தை பெருக்கிக் கொள்கின்றன. வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகளின் இனத்தை பெருக்கிக் கொள்ள குளிர் பனிக்காலம் ஏற்றதாக உள்ளதா அப்பகுதிகளை நோக்கியே வண்ணத்து பூச்சிகள் கூட்டம் கூட்டமாக ஏற்படுகின்றன. That is called migration is in Tamil வலசை போதல். பட்டாம்பூச்சிகள் இலங்கையிலிருந்து ஸ்ரீலங்காவிலிருந்து மதுரைக்கு பருவகால நிலையில் வலசை வருவதாக கண்டறியப்பட்டுள்ளது. So this is a butterfly migrations, and you have it is a butterfly pollinated flowers, and then even we can say also the novels also Malay Iravil, and then even some of the moth species are also pollinating the night-bearing plants, the cestrum nectar, and some of the dragon fruit flowers are very much depending on the butterfly pollination. And again, the moth species in the agro ecosystem also, it needed butterflies pollination and also sometimes that is a moth pollination. மலைச்சிறகன் எனும் தமிழ் மரபன் பட்டாம்பூச்சி தமிழ் மலைப்பகுதியில் காணப்படும் பட்டாம்பூச்சி இனங்களில் ஒன்றாகும். பல்வேறு சிறப்புகள் கொண்ட இதனை தமிழ்நாடு அரசின் சின்னங்களில் ஒன்றாக தமிழ்நாடு அரசு ஜூலை 2019 தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. இதன் ஆங்கில பெயர் தமிழ் யோமன். And then this is the life history of that particular butterflies. தமிழ் மரவன் பட்டாம்பூச்சி தமிழ்நாட்டின் பட்டாம்பூச்சி. தமிழகத்தின் சின்னங்களான வரையாடு, விலங்கு, மரகத புறா, காந்தன் மலர், பனைமரம், பலா ஆகியவற்றை மாநில அரசு அங்கீகரித்துள்ளது. இந்த வரிசையில் மாநில பட்டாம்பூச்சியாக தமிழ் மரவன் பட்டாம்பூச்சி சேர்க்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. Western Ghats consist of it starts from Gujarat to Gujarat, and then Maharashtra, and then Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. It is a stretch of mountain. It is the hottest hotspot of biodiversity. And then the butterflies are taking nectar from particular plant. Yeah, so this is a butterfly is identified from super hotspot Sirvani Hills, southern India, Western Ghats. And பட்டாம்பூச்சிகளில் 15,000 முதல் 20,000 வகையான பல்வேறு உயிரினங்கள் உள்ளன. இவற்றில் மிகப்பெரியதான பட்டாம்பூச்சியானது பாப்புவா நியூ கினி நாட்டில் காணப்படும் குயின் அலெக்சாண்டிரா என்பதாகும். அது தன் இறக்கைகளை விரித்திருக்கும் பொழுது 28 சென்டிமீட்டர் நீளம் இருக்கும். அமெரிக்காவில் காணப்படும் மேற்கு குட்டி நீளம் எனப்படும் பட்டாம்பூச்சி சிறிய வகையில் அறிவிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. பட்டாம்பூச்சிகள் உயிரின வகைப்பாடுகளில் லெபிடாப்டிரா எனும் அறிவியல் பெயர் தாங்கிய குடும்பத்தை சேர்ந்தவை. இந்த அறிவியல் பெயரில் உள்ள லெபிஸ் என்பது செதில் என்று பொருள்படும். டிரான் என்பது இயற்கை சிறகு என்று பொருள்படும். மாநில பட்டாம்பூச்சி தமிழ் மரபு. And then some of the butterflies are migrating for some time for the food, and this is a particular butterfly group of butterflies. Spirit butterflies are taking salt from the environment. This is a group of butterflies. Butterflies are taking, apart from taking, if you talk about butterflies are taking nectar from the flower, and some group of butterflies are taking juice from the environment, juice from the plant. This is the plant. The name of the plant is Crotalaria reticula, and the Danite butterfly, that is Eupleophore, Danes crassicus, Danes genusia, and then these kind of butterflies, Danite butterflies, are taking juice from the environment. And then the butterfly migration. Butterflies, I already told that, is a function as a sensitive indicators of environment. Through butterfly behavior, we can judge the environment. And then if you want to study the butterfly life history or behavior, you should know the larval host plant and then adult host plant selection and ovipositional preference and how the butterflies are taking salt from the environment, that is called puddling behavior, and adult juice sucking behavior. These are all the very, very important. So that in this talk, we are going to discuss about the butterfly nutritional host plants, butterfly dietary plants, butterfly host plant. So that, yeah, I already told that the butterfly life history consists of egg, larva, pupa, and adult. In the young stages, during larval stages, the butterflies are taking a different host plant, different food material. And the adult mother laying eggs on the tender leaves of the host plants. The egg will be hatching. There will be 5 stages of larval stages, molting, successive molting into 5 stages, and it feeds on butterfly host plant. The physical aspects of host plants, chemical aspects of host plants are very, very important for the host plant selection of larvae. And then I already said that butterflies function as a sensitive indicators. It is a very good pollinator. And then Nilgiri biosphere also, it is the hottest hotspot. You have a lot of butterfly host plants as well as and butterflies. And Silent Valley nearby Coimbatore, it is a Silent Valley is situated nearby Coimbatore. It is a Kerala. It is a virgin forest. You have a lot of butterfly diversity. A lot of host plants are there. And then honeybee. It is also a pollinator. And the butterflies are taking nectar from the flower. And this is the butterfly, the external morphology of a butterfly. And then I already said that the butterfly mouthparts consist of a proboscis. Through this proboscis, very long foot tube, it inserts into the female flower, and such a way it brings about pollination. And so that butterflies pollinated flowers entirely depends upon the butterfly pollination. And also the birds also very important pollinator. And then you see the birds also very good pollinator. And then moth, the Lepidoptera consists of butterfly and moth. The moths are nocturnal in habitat, so that so many the night bearing plants are entirely depends upon the moth pollination. It is a very, very important. Lepidoptera consists of the order Lepidoptera consists of butterfly and moth. Butterflies are coming in the daytime, diurnal, and moths are coming during nighttime, is nocturnal. And India, we already discussed. Dr. Palusamy sir explained the endemism hotspot of India, and the India is one among hottest hotspot of butterflies also. And it is a Asian species richness are present in the Western Ghats, southern India. And then and we are going to see some representative species of Poplionid butterflies, that is solar-tailed butterflies, Pecilipta hecta, Poplio polytes, Poplio damalius, Pecilipta aslacea. And then butterfly host plant interaction, we are going to see the Poplio polytes. Poplio polytes, it has many larval host plants, Poplio polytes, 5 different or more than 10 different host plants. The Murraya conigae, that is Carilis, Todelia asiatica, Glycosminis pentacaila, Eagle marmoras, Citrus medica. Also, these are all very important larval host plants. Larval, this is a Poplio polytes. It is a Glycosminis pentacaila. This is a larval host plant of Poplio polytes. And then this is a Carilis. It is one of the larval host plant of Poplio polytes. And then Todelia asiatica. I already said that the adult mother butterfly lays eggs on the tender leaves of the host plant, and the tender leaves is a very favorable food for young stages of butterflies, young larvae of butterfly. The young larvae of butterfly needs more water and more nitrogen, which presence in the tender leaves of any host plant, so that it is easy. And Citra medica is also a host plant of Poplionid butterfly. And then Poplio polytes, the larvae, and the larvae molds into successive mold and gets colors are changing during their molting, and during every molting it removes its outer skin, that is called exudate. And then after changing successive molting the larvae are looks like. And then like that the popular polytus, then it is a pupa of popular and peacock. This is the another butterfly species, Priodus minus southern wing, and it is the egg laid in the tender stem of the host plant. It is a very big butterfly. It's a very nice butterfly. It's an endemic butterfly in India, Himalaya, as well as in southern Western Ghats. This is called Priodus minus southern birdwing. Very big butterfly. Larvae, pupa, and then adult. And then similarly, the another butterfly species in the Mardamalai area, the name of the butterfly is Hasora chromis. The adult mother laid eggs on the tender leaves of the host, and the larvae and the pupa, pupa, and adult. As similarly, we used to study in the laboratory how the when fed on different host plant, larval host plant, how the various larval instar durations in the life history we used to work out in the laboratory. Similarly, we also used to work out the chemical aspects of host plant like protein, carbohydrate, liquid, nitrogen, total amino acids, moisture, and so on. And then this is another species of butterfly, Citrus popular Gamalias. Takes anther or pollen substances from the hibiscus rosa sinensis, and then but then we have seen some representative species of popular butterfly. Now we are going to see how the butterfly host plant interaction association, how the association of Danais group of butterfly, Danaid butterflies, that is all Danais Chrysippus, which feeds on the toxic plant. All Danaid butterflies are specializing on toxic host plants, and here the color of is Jansia. It is one of the host plants of Danais Chrysippus. As I already said that it laying eggs on the tender leaves of the host plant, and then larvae it feeds on inflorescence, and then leaves of the host plant, young, mature, and senescent leaves of the Calotropis gigantea. And also this is the larvae of Danais Chrysippus, very super butterfly larvae, and it also feeds inflorescence, and the milk, the Calotropis is commonly called milkweed. It secretes milk, it secretes latex. The latex contain glycosides, and it is there in every parts of the world, parts of the plant. Even though this particular larvae is specializing on the giant, but it need a certain feeding it sense in order to prevent the milk flow in the plant. It makes a and it make pains start in order to prevent the plant, so that it avoid it avoids the milk cardiac and such a way it feeds. Similarly, they same the another butterfly larvae larvae in this one. Okay. Similarly, when it feeds on leaves, it makes a small pit in order to avoid a milk flow from the main plant, so that it makes avoid to cut the vein of the host plant leaf, and it feeds on that. And then this is a peep of Danais Chrysippus larvae, and then these are all the chemical analysis of a host plant, and then this is how the butterfly larvae feeds the young, mature, and senescent inflorescence. This is a kind of feeding food utilization of particular butterfly species, and then biochemical analysis of Calotropis gigantea, and then this is another period butterflies laying eggs on the tender leaves of the leaves, and again another moth species which lays eggs on the tender leaves and inflorescence of the there is a Nerium oleander. The Nerium oleander also is a toxic plant which secretes cyanogenic glycosides, and then this chemical analysis of the host plant. And then we used to work out the young, mature, and senescent leaves, how the larvae feeds in individual leaf stages, why the water content are present in young leaves, and the optimum water content protein in mature leaves, and then the senescent leaves, which does more phenolics. We used to work out the chemical nature of the host plants and the feeding behavior of a particular moth, sometimes butterfly species. And then again, in the nature, the larvae, before reaching pupal stages, it needs certain sugars so that it also feeds inflorescence of medium oleander. And then this is a pre-pupa of that particular Japanese Nereid, that is a pre-pupa, very superb. And then is a pupa, and then it is a, and again, we want to have a habitat conservation or and the host plant conservation of butterflies. We need a butterfly life history, host plant preference, behavioral ecology is a very, very important. And at the same time, any change in the habitat that can threaten butterflies and moth species. And then I already said that Siruvani, Western Ghats, is the hottest hotspot. We have, apart from other animals, elephant or tiger or even other bird species, butterfly species are also more in the case of Siruvani Hills and Annamalai Hills. Again, very important species, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, and it is also very important hotspot in southern India. It is equal to Himalayan biodiversity. There and here in this is a butterfly. We already talked about Pechelipta hecta and then Popliopolitus, and then these are all the representative species of solatile butterfly species. And then Pechelipta arslokia. And these are the Pechelipta arslokia takes nectar from different flowers. One single butterfly species, it specializes many adult the many flowers, so that it is a very, very important to conserve butterfly host plants. Then only we can conserve the butterflies. So butterflies are pollinator. Butterfly pollinated flowers are entirely depends upon the butterfly pollination. So that it is a very, very important. Ashlokia indica, it is also one of the larval host plant of Ashlokia, that is a Pechelipta hector and Pechelipta ashlokia, the poplar and butterflies. Ashlokia tagala is also one of the host plants of this particular species. It mostly present the Salon Valley in Western Ghats. And the another species of the solitary butterfly is called Graphium agmemnon. It has two host plants to designate as a larval host plant. This is a larvae, and then there is a newly molted molted larvae of Graphium agmemnon. Atrobotis, this particular plant is a larval host plant. And then Graphium agmemnon larvae, grown up larvae, and then a pre-pupa of a particular species, Graphium agmemnon, and then adult. Okay, the life history. And then the larvae of Popliopolitus on citrus. It is also a very, very important pupa. And adult, the mimic species of the Danais crassipus. The another very important species of is a Pechelipta, that is called, this is a species, very rare endemic species, and it is found in only in Nilgiris biosphere. That is a I will tell you the name very quick. And then okay, and then this is another species, especially Tashlakia, which takes a nectar on Ixora gaxinia. In Tamil, it is a idli poo. And then we have seen Danais crassipus, Danais genesia, Euclea core. These are all the relative Danite species. Danite butterfly, again this Oplanate butterfly on citrus larvae is a superb larvae. And we can also have honeybees in our butterfly where we grow. And in Kongunada Arts and Science College also has a lot of flowers, so that attracting more pollination, attracts flowers, attracts butterfly. And our Harada department and principal Dr. Lakshmana Swami sir group also, research group also working on butterflies, honeybees, and also ants in Western Ghats, so that The apiculture, keeping apiculture is also a very important in our college also. Our respected secretary has already have a apiculture in various places, so that our college also soon equip more apiculture practice. Than we will make our own honey and we eat, we taste our own honey in our college. And you see, like this, I made this kind of apiculture where I was in Vellore. We had a butterfly garden, herbal garden, and apiculture, so that we can harvest the honey from herbal plants, particular herbal plants, so that the texture, taste, and color and everything is you can enjoy. And you see how the people are taking requesting honey harvested from our own garden. And then similarly, the another butterfly species, it is called Euclea core, which feeds on Nereum oleander toxic plant. This is a pupa of that one. Pupa is a different one. This is a Euclea core adult. And then similarly, the another grasshopper, very superb grasshopper, which are endemic Tamil Nadu or in Marudamalai Hills. And this called milkweed grasshopper, Phyllocyrus pictus, which also share the dietary resources of Calotropis gigantea, where the Danais crassicus larvae, the otter and nymph are sharing a single resources, nutritional resources, where the young larvae, butterfly larvae needs more water and nitrogen. It feeds tenderly on the host plant. But the orthopteran species, the painted grasshopper, which feeds on mechu, it prefer to feed on mechu. If suppose if you are forcibly feeding, giving this tender leaves to grasshopper, the water which obstruct the digestive physiology of orthopteran insects, the Phyllocyrus pictus, so that it is a nature, it is a kind of super mechanism are found in the ecosystem. The another butterfly species, Euclea core, I already said that if you talk about butterfly, we are all think that butterflies are only taking nectar for the adult resources. Not like that. Some group of butterflies, some species of butterflies, apart from taking nectar from the flower, it need other group of dietary resources are very, very important for their growth and development to avoid any. So that some group of Danite butterflies are taking juice, secretions from the inflorescence and then stem and then leaf. This is called Euclea core, very super butterflies, which are taking juice from the inflorescence. The inflorescence or these species contain the another group of pyrrolizidine alkali is a toxic, but this group of butterflies are needed this kind of dietary resources. And again, the very important thing is the male butterflies are only taking this substances. The female does not. So that male butterflies are taking this this group of chemical substances that is called pyrrolizidine alkali. Pyrrolizidine alkalides are sequestered in the body. It transmits to the female during mating. That takes and transmit to the female. That will be important for female for the reproduction and then eggshell development. So that it is another very important. This is I already said that the butterfly danaes are sequestered pyrrolizidine alkalides. The pyrrolizidine alkalides in the plant, it gets from the plant, it provides protection from the certain species of butterflies. You see how the butterfly species, Euclea core, and the butterflies taking juice from the particular plant. Then the another group of species which need the pyrrolizidine alkali, but it comes during night time, so that this larvae is taking chemical substances in the body. It transmit to the female. This is called moth species. The other two kind of moth species are taking this kind of mechanism. And then you see this is Danais genusia. All photographs are found in the Malay Hills, Malay, Sirwani, and Nilgiri biosphere. We have taken the photograph. Here, the Danite butterflies are taking juice from the inflorescence spot of this one. This ferrulidin alkali secreted from the root system and transported to the stem leaves. It widely available, it is segregated in the plant system, so that the Danais crucifers, Danite butterflies are also taking this juice. And again, the butterflies are taking juice, and the male butterflies, and again the group of butterflies are taking juice, and then in a single plant, more than 500 to 900 or 1000 butterflies are taking this one, so that it is a fantastic mechanism. The male butterflies are taking only this juice, so that the proboscis and then the foreleg contain a very tough foreleg, and having a lot of serrations. Through that serrations, it scrape the food material and taking this one. And then Danais crucifers, butterflies are taking juice, and the butterflies are taking juice, and butterflies are taking juice. Like that, I'm going to very quickly, and then because it will be very lengthy lecture, but you are all very tired now, and then some of the things are very again. So this is a, we have seen how butterflies are taking nectar from the flower, and we have seen the Danite butterflies are taking juice from the environment, chemical substances, and the another group of butterflies, Poplani, Danite butterflies, and then breed butterflies are taking salt in the moist environment. The manganese, zinc, and potassium. These salts are found in the soil ecosystem. So again, male butterflies are taking the salts. It will be transmitted to the female growth and so the group of breed butterflies are taking salt. Here again, the other group breed butterflies are taking salt. The again Poplanian butterfly breed butterflies are taking salt. It is called puddling behavior or salt taking behavior. Graphium serpidant, they are taking in the moist environment chemical substances. Again, breed butterflies are taking chemicals. Again, some group of lichenid species, lichenid group butterflies are taking nutritive substances from animal excretion. This is a dog excreta, and we have taken nearby Mardhamala Hills. And then you see another the dog excreta. The butterflies are taking nutritive substances. The breed butterflies are taking this one. Again, the flower visitation pattern, nectar feeding influence the egg production, longevity. Flower selection of butterflies is mainly color, shape, scent are very important. The major sugars found in the nectars are sucrose, fructose, glucose. Sucrose, that is in natural flower, if it is a more sucrose, female will attract. If it is a more fructose, male will attract and take nectar. The flower visitation, the length of the visitation, the season are also very important. During the day, morning, afternoon, evening, the number of visits, now the length of the visits are vary between the butterflies and then the physiological age of the host plant. Butterflies are taking nectar, butterflies are taking nectar, and then butterflies are taking nectar, butterflies are taking nectar, butterflies are taking nectar in the Mardhamala Hills. I already said that some group of moth species are also pollinating the night bearing plants. It's called Cestum nocturnum, that is night cube. And you see one of the moth species are taking nectar and it pollinates. Like that, the oviposition of particular host plants on particular host plants, on particular butterflies or many butterflies are also very important. So that, and then you can also have a butterfly museum. You can also have a butterfly park. When I visited, I have seen the butterfly park in Taiwan, Thailand, Netherlands, and then America. In University of Florida, they have a Florida museum, and they have a butterfly. They have a butterfly garden. They are growing, they are culturing butterfly, and they are releasing into the particular confined environment, and the people are attracting. And I have visited during 2011, so that it is a very important. and the warden, so that in this occasion, in the Wildlife Week, we are celebrating from second to, and Kongunad Arts and Science College is the zoology department. All the people are working in different animals, while in wild or in confined environment, and in various experimental model working on that fish, and then animal, human, elephant, or wild animal conflict. Dr. Swaminathan sir is working, and Dr. Kannan is working on the fish system. Dr. Raja is working on microplastics and recent topic of investigation. So that some group of Dr. Binu Kumari is working on toxicology and pieces and other things. So that I congratulate each and everybody, and myself also very happy to work as emeritus. So that it is a very, very important occasion, and all the young students from first MSc, newly joined first MSc and second MSc, you have a very good environment in the Western Ghats, and you have a lot of opportunities in Tamil Nadu Arts and College. You are affiliated University, Bharatiyar University, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Avanachilingam, Salim Ali Research Center, and you have a Sirvani, you have a Nilgiris, you have a Anamalais, and Salim Ali, this and that. You have many medicinal plants, and then many tribal people are associated with forests and livelihood. And one old lady, madam from Karnataka, is called Madam Timaka. He has planted more than 10,000 plants, and it is a world recorded, Guinness Book recorded. And the lady and her husband together planted many plants in the Karnataka, and now her husband has died, but she is pouring water, and he made a very good forest. So that, like that, we are much associated with the forest, and much associated with the forest are giving many other opportunities. And so that I congratulate, and I am much grateful for our principal sir, Dr. Lakshmana Swami, Dr. Binu Kumari madam, and our honorable Dr. Vasugi ma'am, the secretary and director of that college. So that I am really very happy, and we will have an interaction, we will have a dialogue and discussion, and a later course of time. I thank you very much, and I have taken a lot of time. Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your expertise in conservation of butterflies with all of us. Now, the session is open for discussion. Those who wish to ask any questions to our resource person may unmute your mic or else put your questions in the chat box.
Here, the participants are requested to fill the feedback form, which is put in the chat box.
Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Now, I request our beloved Assistant Professor of Department of Zoology and Organizing Secretary of this program, Dr. R. Venkatachalam sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I, Dr. R. Venkatachalam, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Kongunad Arts and Science College, delightful to propose my vote of thanks on behalf of College Management and Department of Zoology. I foremost thank our Honorable President, Dr. R. Chami sir, and our beloved Secretary and Director, Dr. C.A. Vaski ma'am, for guiding us in every possible way and instrumental for conducting various events at this campus. My gratitude goes to our principal, Dr. M. Lakshmana Swami sir, HOD principal of this great institution, and always his motivation uh, for conducting various activities and events in our zoology department. I also very thankful to Dr. K. Murugan sir, former Vice Chancellor, Thiruvarur University, Registrar Bharatiya University, and Emeritus Professor of Kumar Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. I am very much thankful to Dr. S. Binakumari ma'am, HOD in charge, Kumar Arts and Science College, for her encouragement and support for conducting this program in a successful manner. I also thank Dr. S. R. Madan Sankar, Dean Academics, and Dr. S. Palaswamy sir, Dean R&D, Kumar Arts and Science College, for their constant support for various programs. I am very thankful to various coordinators of Diploma Apiculture and Diploma Ornamental Fish Production and Trade and Diploma in Immunotechnology, and my colleagues, my dear friends and research scholars and students. Once again, I thank you everyone for their support for successful conducting this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for expressing your gratitude through your humble words.
Once again, I thank everybody on behalf of myself and the organizing members, Department of Zoology, Kungunada Arts and Science College, for making this day a great success. And let's wind up the meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.